The island seemed like a refuge forgotten by time, surrounded by dark waters and covered by a dense mist that seemed to pulse with a life of its own. As the Mystery Inc. boat approached, silhouettes of ancient mansions emerged among twisted trees. The mansions, imposing even in their decaying state, hinted at a history full of secrets. The group had been summoned to investigate the strange disappearances plaguing the island's summer festival. Rumors of werewolves lurking in the shadows made the case even more terrifying. "Scooby, I think I'd rather have a giant burger than this creepy mystery," Shaggy said, trying to ease his nerves, while Scooby shivered in agreement. Upon docking, they were greeted by Emma, a visibly shaken local guide who kept glancing nervously at the forest. "We need your help," she said in a hushed tone. "People are disappearing, and no one feels safe after dark." Emma led them to the festival grounds, now a field of ruins. Destroyed stalls and deep claw marks were everywhere. Daphne scrutinized the wreckage with an analytical eye. "These claws, they look human, but not entirely," she remarked. Fred examined enormous footprints leading toward the forest, while Velma studied a detailed map of the island. "The cave to the north is the most remote location. It seems like a good starting point," she suggested, adjusting her glasses. The forest separating them from the cave was dense and alive, every step accompanied by the rustling of leaves and snapping of branches. The vegetation seemed to close in around them, as if trying to block their way. Shaggy and Scooby, lagging behind, stumbled upon an abandoned bag of cookies and quickly got distracted. A long howl echoed through the forest, freezing them both in fear. "Run, Scooby-Doo!" Shaggy yelled as they dashed back to the group. They arrived breathless, interrupting Fred's analysis. Another, closer howl brought an air of urgency. "That wasn't imagination," Velma said, frowning. The footprints led them to a clearing where a dark cave awaited. Daphne pointed out deep scratches on the rocks around the entrance, as if something gigantic had passed through. Velma found fragments of torn fabric caught on nearby branches. "This is recent," she noted, holding up the piece of cloth for closer examination. Fred organized the group, each holding flashlights, and they ventured into the shadowy interior. Scooby hesitated, sniffing the air suspiciously before following. The tension was palpable. Inside the cave, the air was chilling, and the echoes of their footsteps heightened the suspense. Velma found ancient inscriptions on the walls, mentioning creatures of the night and dark local legends. Fred discovered a piece of fur stuck to a rock, while Daphne followed footprints that mysteriously disappeared. "How can something this big just vanish?" Daphne asked, puzzled. Shaggy and Scooby stumbled upon a pile of bones, letting out screams that echoed throughout the cave. Suddenly, something seemed to move in the shadows, sending shivers down everyone's spine. Abruptly, a figure darted past the cave's entrance, disappearing into the forest. Fred led the group outside, determined to avoid an ambush. Emma was waiting for them, her face pale with fear. "I saw something huge moving among the trees," she said, her voice trembling. She pointed to a mansion perched on a cliff, explaining that the former owner was obsessed with werewolves and that the location might hold important clues. "I think we're closer to answers than we thought," Fred said, leading the group toward the mansion. The mansion was intimidating, with broken windows and doors that creaked at the slightest breeze. Inside, old portraits lined the walls, while the sound of wind passing through cracks added to the eerie atmosphere. The mansion was intimidating, with broken windows and doors that creaked at the slightest breeze. Inside, old portraits lined the walls, while the sound of wind passing through cracks added to the eerie atmosphere. On the second floor, Daphne found a locked door. Fred used his strength to break it open, revealing a room filled with documents and laboratory equipment. Velma examined the papers, deducing that the former owner had been attempting to genetically recreate legendary creatures. "He was obsessed with the idea of turning humans into monsters," Velma said. adjusting their glasses. Fred found a vial containing a strange liquid, but before they could investigate further, a deafening howl echoed from outside, putting everyone on high alert. Rushing to the window, the group saw a massive, hairy creature walking through the mansion's garden. Scooby barked frantically while Shaggy tried to hide. Fred quickly proposed a plan to capture it. They divided up tasks to build an improvised trap using ropes, a wooden cage, and the old projector they had found in the mansion. Reluctantly, Shaggy and Scooby were chosen as bait, carrying chunks of meat to lure the creature. "Why is it always us?" Shaggy complained as Scooby whimpered in agreement. When the creature appeared, its movements were strange, almost robotic. It fell into the trap, and Fred and Velma cautiously approached to investigate. Removing part of the fur revealed a sophisticated technological suit. To everyone's surprise, Emma stepped forward and confessed to being behind everything. She explained that she used the suit to create fear and drive away tourists. "It was my only way to protect the island from rampant exploitation," she said defensively. Emma revealed that the disappearances were part of her plan to safeguard the island's natural resources from corporate interests. Visitors were secretly taken off the island by boat before they could report anything. Fred assured her that the authorities would be informed, while Velma meticulously documented everything to present to local organizations. "This technology needs to be confiscated before it falls into the wrong hands," Velma said, examining the suit closely. Back at the festival grounds, Mystery Inc. explained everything to the organizers. Emma was handed over to the authorities, and the organizers promised to restore safety to the island. Daphne suggested turning the werewolf legend into a tourist attraction to draw visitors, while Velma emphasized the importance of preserving the local environment. "We need to make sure something like this never happens again," Fred concluded. As they prepared to leave, a distant howl echoed across the island, momentarily halting their farewell. Scooby hid behind Shaggy, both trembling. "Maybe not all mysteries have been solved," Fred remarked with a knowing smile. Velma gazed at the horizon, observing the full moon shining brightly. "The island still holds many secrets," she said. While the boat moved away from the island, Daphne cast one last glance back, as if expecting something to emerge from the mist. "We solved the case, but I still feel there's something hidden," she said. Velma silently agreed, reflecting on the day's events. Fred, however, remained confident. "If there are more secrets, we'll come back to uncover them." As the island disappeared on the horizon, Scooby finally relaxed, enjoying a snack he had saved. Shaggy joked about never wanting mysteries involving werewolves again. Despite their exhaustion, the group shared a sense of accomplishment. "Scooby-Doo, where are you?" echoed in the air, marking the end of another case solved by Mystery Inc.